Kamala spent 100 days telling voters, I know it feels like crime and illegal immigration are bad, but f your feelings. Look at this chart. Have you seen my "In this house we believe" lawn sign? See, it says right on it, we believe in science. Right, which is why you demanded no one even debate whether COVID could have escaped from the one lab in the one city where they were studying it. How far-fetched.
The same ardent leftist, Bill Maher, went all out for his own presidential candidate, Kamala Harris, as we revealed in a recent movie. However, we neglected to reveal the meaty backstory of this entire farce. Fortunately, it is exactly what we will be discussing today. Why did Maher decide to cling to Taya and disparage someone he had happily cast his ballot for? Does he even have any affection for Trump? If you haven't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? To make sure you never miss another upload, click that button.
Harris would be the first woman president, first black woman president, and first Asian president. But I don't vote for who will be the first. I vote for who will win. And for whatever reason, Harris has never been popular. You can count the number of delegates she won in the 2020 primaries on one hand, as long as that hand has...
The first reason Bill Maher didn't vote for Kamala Harris was that she was as popular as a root canal, even if she had her own party. Maher's joke was ridiculed by celebrities like Lizzo and Mindy, but her team persisted in trying to promote her to everyone with awkward cooking videos and TikTok dances. Yes, even if Kamala Harris wasn't the only one who criticized the Democrats for their uncharacteristic behavior, Americans do want a vice president with catchy TikTok talents. The last nail in his coffin was his awful approach of enforcing EV regulations while being forgiving of illegal activity. Kamala's total incapacity. Oh no.
3 years as vice president, she's been quieter than an electric car. Sometimes life isn't fair. It's not fair that she's not popular. She's intelligent and accomplished, and in fact was put in charge of the border. And look at how... Okay, bad example.
Bill Maher was right when he chastised Harris for being clearly incompetent in addition to her popularity problems. For example, she managed the border scenario as though it were a collaborative effort rather than taking the initiative. She avoided going to the border for months, and when she arrived, it was clear that her major answer was a PR act to tell migrants to don't come and to give evasive speeches about the underlying problems. No actual outcomes, no real activity. Americans saw right through it, and Maher slammed into her. Kamala made a serious mistake since being a leader is about working hard and being there, not about taking photos.
I was asking was it a mistake to kind of allow that flood to happen in the first place?
I think the policies that we have been proposing are about fixing a problem, not promoting it.
Illegal crossings rose, cities were overwhelmed, and Kamala Harris, the so-called border czar, seemed to be clueless about the true border. She responded to challenges with word salads that were vague and rambling, more filler than substance, like a student who was carelessly padding a paper. The border crisis was not only a policy failure, but it also provided a clear warning of what America can expect should Harris take on further responsibility. Instead of confronting the issue, she evaded duties in the hopes that no one would notice. However, Bill Maher was one of the people that did. She left behind a catastrophe that even he, a liberal, could not ignore. Furthermore, CNN's real-time examination of her dishonesty was critical.
You criticized the wall more than 50 times. You called it stupid, useless, and a medieval vanity project. Is a border wall stupid?
Well, let's talk about Donald Trump and that border wall. So remember, Donald Trump said Mexico would pay for it? Come on, they didn't. How much of that wall did he build? I think the last number I saw is about 2%.
To fix the problem, you're doing this compromise bill. It does call for $650 million that was earmarked under Trump to actually still go to build the wall.
I'm not afraid of good ideas where they occurred.
So you don't think it's stupid anymore?
I think what he did and how he did it did not make much sense because he actually didn't do much of anything. We just talked about it. He didn't actually do much of anything.
But you do want to build.
Kamala Harris made criticizing Trump's border wall a central theme of her 2019 campaign. She even voted against its funding in the Senate, describing it as a medieval vanity project and a waste of public funds. However, the Biden administration unexpectedly approved the construction of a new border wall in Texas in 2023. When asked about this dramatic change in an interview, Harris did what she does best. She flatly denied that Anderson Cooper told her that the government was putting up additional obstacles. No, even if the Department of Homeland Security accepted the idea, That moment was legendary. When she was caught lying, Kamala assumed no one would notice. But Bill Maher and many other Americans noticed.
Shocker that the people who see everything through the lens of race and see their election loss as a result of racism and sexism. Kamala spent 100 days telling voters, I know it feels like crime and illegal immigration are bad, but feelings, look at this chart. Have you seen my "In this house we believe" lawn sign? See, it says right on it, we believe in science. Right, which is why you demanded no one even debate whether COVID could have escaped from the one lab in the one city where they were studying it. How far?
Bill Maher's criticism of the left for pushing absurd policies caused even liberals to halt and exclaim, "What?" Maher underlined how hypocritical it is to allow biological guys to play women's sports, while LGBTQ activists back campaigns that denounce their existence. He also ridiculed Kamala Harris's well-known word salads, saying that she avoids challenging questions by rambling incoherently.
Very important, as you have heard from so many incredible leaders, for us at every moment in time, and certainly this one, to see the moment in time in which we exist and are present, and to be able to contextualize it, to understand where we exist in the history and in the moment as it relates not only to the past, but
Bill Maher slammed Kamala Harris for her well-known word salads, saying that rather than sounding like a world leader, she sounds more like a broken artificial intelligence system. Just imagine how she would react in a real emergency, he said, mocking the way she falters when given basic questions. If Harris were elected president, Maher said, American leadership would be like a badly performed comedy routine, leaving allies confused and rivals laughing.
Kamala Harris run for California governor in 2026 after polls show her leading. I'm going to give that a big no. Yeah.
Several times.
She should run far, far away.
Yeah, I think Kamala Harris would make a great president of a university.
Even Bill Maher believes Kamala Harris is unfit to run for anything, much less California governor. He ridiculed her purported goals, saying that if she can't handle the vice presidential post, she is definitely not qualified to lead a state plagued by homelessness, crime, and business flight. Maher, a native Californian, understands that the state needs real leadership, not simply platitudes. Additionally, comedian Rob Schneider contributed his voice to remind everyone that Harris didn't even collect any primary votes and was just appointed vice president.
And nobody voted for Kamala. They just said, okay, you're it. They did this in 2016. Bernie Sanders, he was the guy that got all the votes in the primary. Like, we just give it to Hillary. In 2020, just everybody drop out, just give it to Biden. Then this year, it's like, everybody figured it out. His brain doesn't work. Let's just him. Here's what you have. You have somebody that nobody voted for, and you got somebody they tried to murder 2 times. Which one's probably going to hold up democracy?
She's better. No, but let me tell you, Kamala, she does different accents, depending on where she is, down south. Let me tell you something. You boys better get it together here and vote. Save democracy. Black community, she's like, shit, let me tell you something, honey. Let me tell you right now, we ain't vote for Trump, I even saw her at a 7-Eleven going like, listen, it's very important that we vote for the Democrats. We're trying to save democracy here. We're trying to save democracy.